Cool. It's actually worked. I had to go hunt for the for RCIC the other day. Okay, so we're live. I did have this preset just to let you guys know. Um, I'm trying to get like it's pretty cool. So we're live. So we'll kind of let it do its thing because I mean I want to show you guys some cool stuff. Obviously you guys saw that where the link is, but um yeah, top we're live. We have people. Um, we have everyone. Um, it's okay. So you guys want to know? So on the other night, I think Monday night, we pulled up. I pulled up. Well, not Monday, last week. I pulled up three properties using Market Scout in Evergreen, which is my hometown, 80439, and then at pretty decent ones actually. And I posted those in the Facebook group, so you guys can take a look at the ones that say Evergreen. I also did Lakewood, Colorado today. I found a few some good properties there. Brandon's coming on, so good thing we're just getting. I'm going to slow start this a little bit. So we found using Market Scout. So that's something you guys want to probably think about is using Market Scout. You just ask for the Market Scout tool and put in what zip codes you want, and then ask it what you want. And if you're looking for single family residence, it can go into that. It can go deep into it can go and look exactly what you're looking for. So we're able to find properties in 80439. Today, we went into like I said, Lakewood, Colorado today, so it's kind of cool. Let's just real quick, let's just load it up. Let's and let me show you guys one more. We'll start doing yours because you guys want to see it. But in I'm gonna go in zip code 80401. Anybody know what anybody know what major companies in the 80401 zip code? Just out of trivia. The Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. So so we're going to pull Market Scout at 80401, active leads in Golden, Colorado, motivated sellers surfacing investors and buyers map for instant connections. So we're live at 80401. So we're going to go ahead and check for foreclosures, probate, and other leads. It's Golden and Jefferson County. Clerk and recorder. So sometimes you just have to remind it to the agencies, especially when you guys are starting, because remember it's a definitely interesting. You want to remind it a little bit. It's as it starts getting to learn you. RA right now as they're pulling foreclosures, probate, other distressed leads from the clerk and recorder's office, the assessor's office. Clerk and recorder has all in our county. Your county or the counties you're looking at may be different. So if you're looking at nationally, you may not know the counties, like the people that do virtual wholesaling, and how they're set up because it could all be one place. So you want to definitely know what kind of structure that county has. Remember that counties and zip codes are required almost in all searches. That helps a lot. It helps really narrow things down. You can use city and obviously the address if you're looking at specific properties and things like that. You can even put in subdivisions sometimes. So in our county, I would check. This is where I live. I would check the clerk and recorder's office because they have filings and notice, and I would check the assessor's office, property and tax records, which are two entirely different floors of the Taj Mahal. If you guys ever see our county clerk or county building. And then the Jefferson County Court, which will have probate and case data. So this is raw actionable intelligence, real distressed property signals before they hit the big boards. These won't even, what I'm pulling up now won't even hit PropStream and Deal Machine and Goliath and all the other ones for a couple weeks. Literally, like yesterday, I found the 3 I found in Evergreen. Well, today I found one at a couple in Lakewood in Jefferson County, which Lakewood's the city of Jefferson County, like Golden is. I found a couple of properties that the foreclosure auctions won't even be until January. So you got a couple months, and right now there's a prime opportunity. It actually listed the case numbers, and it listed when the foreclosure auctions are with the trustee in the county. So it was pretty thorough. So think about being able to get all this information, and we're able to. And so just to kind of sidetrack a little bit, the more people that are using this, the better the tools are going to be, the faster, the more responsive. Sometimes if the tools sit, you might have to wake them up, meaning you might have to remind it. Like sometimes, like a market scout, sometimes it forgets that it can go search for the data. So you kind of have to remind it, like I just did. I toasted up here. I had to come up and say, go ahead and check for foreclosures, probate, and other leads. So I kind of reminded it that way, and then it kind of kicked it in its ass. Sometimes, like I said, if tools aren't being used, that's when you guys see me typing about that reinforcement stuff. I'm pretty much having to do that on Sundays with Homebase. I spend most of Sunday on Homebase. Most of Saturday I will do on real estate. Then the rest of the week, because that reinforcements where I just make sure the tools are working. But if everybody's using the 14 core tools and the main tools in their toolboxes, and they're sending out agents, the more that people are using those kind of tools that are being used all the time, the better. But also encourage people to start testing other tools. Even if you're just doing test cases and training yourself, if you don't have any interest in, like, I don't know, commercial shopping centers, it doesn't hurt to once in a while just run one for practice. Plus, you're good at it if you ever decide to do that. Just like it's saying, if the tools are sitting and they're not being used, they're going sometimes they could change numbers. Most of the tools have numbers. So tool 601, if it's not used for 2 weeks or whatever by somebody, it could be tool 594. It just changes the numbers. They're still there. Just to kind of let you guys know.
Do not punish behavior.
Yeah. So this is why you're here. While I always wait for leads to hit a retail list, you already seen them. So 804 and Jefferson County are live. Go ahead and generate. Carlos is coming on. So, and as you guys say, it's going to have the public foreclosure records from the Jefferson County Public Trustee Foreclosure Property Search Tool. So, what it's going to give you guys, if you guys can look, here's Rehab. So that's the website that has Jefferson County calling foreclosure, short sale, and pre-foreclosures. And here's the Jefferson County. So it's going to give, this is what I was referring to as the off ramps. It's going to give you sources. So it's going to tell you, these are where you're going to want to click on. So you're going to want to then, I would just rather click on it and then copy the link and then just go to another window. Always try to have a Google window or an Edge window or whatever browser you're using. So that way you don't click on it here. That way you keep this page. Otherwise you can sometimes lose the page. It's not hard to get back to. In my case, when I'm doing the Zoom, you guys, it can be a pain in the ass for me to have to bounce around. So I'm really not going to these like off ramps, I call them. I tell everybody, picture RCIC as kind of like an interstate highway or an airport. Like every gate, every exit is an off ramp and an on ramp. So you're off ramping to Jefferson County. Then you're going to on ramp back with whatever data you get. You have to actually sometimes go onto their website to their website. Not every county is going to be sophisticated. I think all of you in Michigan have pretty large counties there just because I kind of checked where everybody was at. But like you get into like some rural areas, counties may not be as sophisticated, or cities, if they, like in Denver, it's a city and county of Denver. Denver is the city and the county are the one and the same. The other one we have is Broomfield City and County, Denver. Broomfield, for those of you who aren't familiar, is just right outside of Boulder, along with Superior, Lafayette, and Louisiana. And Broomfield's shares part of Jefferson County, used to. Now it has all one county. So you kind of want to make sure of that too in those kind of situations. So it's going to have all the pre-sale lists. All the final sale and continuous reports are all here. So here you guys are going to go. So it's got the foreclosurelistings.com is listing about 1,613 active distressed properties in Jefferson County, including foreclosures, pre-foreclosures, short sales, and sheriff sales. Zillow currently shows 2 foreclosure listings. None are directly within 80401. So they could be in other counties. You would always want to just be willing to, go into here in the case of Golden, you'd want to go to Arvada or Lakewood, which is Lakewood's a huge town. They're both Arvada's well over 100,000. I don't know exactly. I know Lakewood's probably 200,000, maybe 250,000 people. It intersects with Littleton, unincorporated Littleton, Colorado, in the southern part of Jefferson County. So it wouldn't be surprised that this many properties are in Jefferson County. Golden may not be as many. So they're going to check the trustee's website, foreclosurelistings.com, Zillow, like everybody else checks Zillow, obviously. So you can go and you can check the property search tool. Yes. Check for a list of and expand into Arvada, Colorado. We'll see if I can do that. So you can't pull the real-time data, but it tells you how to get there. So I'm just trying to show you guys. So here you want to go to these, you get the pre-sale list or election demand notice for Jefferson County, and target Arvada Golden specific zip codes. So you always want to have the ability, like I said, to off-ramp like this real estate, it'll show pretty good deals. Some like I said, almost every county and jurisdiction, you're gonna have to do that off-ramp thing. We just click on it and go open another window. Like I said, I'm not going to do that in usually in these sessions right now. What I'm encouraging everybody to do is start having yours up. I'll work on the big ticket items starting next week, and that way I can work on tools and I can build stuff if you guys need stuff built or whatever for the whole group. You can work on your deals, and then if you need to, I can check some market, some stuff like that. So here's this is an example, so it's just an example only. So Market Scout, but Market Scout's an incredible tool. Can't hand off. See other tools. And then wait till you guys see the big announcements about lenders. So give you kind of heads up while it's printing this. We'll have about 3,500, 4,000 more lenders in the database. I've got the databases for NPLA and AAPL and Scotsman's Guide and some other sources. These are all vetted and verified. In order to be in their database, they have to be a background check that they pay for. So we're going to have probably after dedupe, which is what's going to take a little bit. It's going to take about a week to do dedupe and do some other things. I have a freelancer from Fiverr. Dedupe is basically just getting rid of duplicates. National Private Lenders Association, American Association, Private Lenders, Scotsman's Guide, and a few other sources. We will probably have somewhere between about 3,000 and 3,500 additional lenders. And I'm also still looking for more. So that'll connect with the 2,683 right now that are broken down in 901 lenders, as well as 1,762 funding sources. So we're going to have well over 5,000, maybe even close to 6,000 in the lender match. Now, people have hit me up today. A couple people that are in the group that are on it that have hit, like, they get to the lender match. You want to definitely ask for lender match when you're ready for that deal, when you're ready for lender match, or if it's a larger deal, like it's, in the millions, it could be like multifamily, big commercial, and you want to syndicate. Instead of asking for lender matching, you want to ask for capital connector. And that's going to trigger the family offices, hedge fund, equity funds, and all that stuff, bigger deals. If you want to get a syndication, we got syndications tools as well. But those are pretty much when you get to the end of the offer generator, offer blaster, ARV and comp, all those tools will get you to where you can ask for a lender match. So here you guys go. Here's the tool, Market Scout. So your Market Scout is something you want to set up. Hey, can we run Market Scout for whatever zip code, and you're looking for whatever you're looking for, an asset class, and then it'll come up and show you guys. I put the Lakewood and the Evergreen ones, and it actually shows you what it came up with, and it actually did access Jefferson County on those. So sometimes it seems a little difficult, like maybe it won't do it. You can trigger it. Otherwise you just do those off ramps. So just think of the off ramps as kind of manual mode. If it won't go to the website to bring the information out, then you can still manually go to them and pull that data for leads and pull that data for skip tracing, ownership taxes, even permits. Because in permits, if you're on the Jefferson County website, for example, not only can you access the assessor, you can access the clerk and recorder, you can access the courts. There's a link to the courts, there's a link to the sheriff. There's also the link for the it's pretty well organized actually compared to Denver's a mess. Denver sucks. I hate going on Denver's website, but it's really convoluted. But Jefferson County is pretty easy. And you can actually go and pull the information. You can also go to the building department to pull permits, because you're getting a property. Would you like to find out before you buy it that you have there's unpermitted work? There's things like that. So it's going to pull up the raw opportunities, foreclosures, probate, distress, motivated sellers, targeted leads. It's going to output, address, owner, basic data, distress signal. And today, and the one for Evergreen, we got the owner's name. We have the addresses. Then we can skip trace further. I didn't, but we can skip trace further and get their information. We found 3 properties in Evergreen and 5 in Lakewood that are all like literally really solid deals. Very phenomenal. We're able to pull the data on the Evergreen ones because they were in Clear Creek County. Evergreen, part of maybe 10% of Evergreen's on the Clear Creek County, into Clear Creek part of it. So we're able to pull those 3. And then Lakewood, we're able to pull because Lakewood has the city of Lakewood has some of the data as well. Unlike, some counties, some cities do. And then it feeds directly to ARV and comps tools. So your next phase after that is your ARV and comps. You can go, so you can have all these tools and ask it to do these and it'll hand them off. So you'll get these leads, you can review them, and it can send it directly to ARV and comps. It'll go through and look at the MLS and the public and the AI analysis to get a baseline value and spread. It'll determine if the property fits the buy box thresholds. You set your threshold in buy box. You set your markets and markets. You get your tools, you get your agents, all that stuff. So it's going to meet and then it goes into Rehab Estimator, Offer Generator, which are tools 7 and 8. So Rehab Estimator, cost of work, it'll generate AI power repair cost breakdown. Pretty soon, I'm actually going to get us the enterprise or the API subscription to RS means is pretty pricey, where we'll actually be able to put in all the construction data. I'm debating whether I get Xactimate first. Xactimate would be good because if you can access Xactimate, all the pricing is what the insurance companies pay for restoration after like a hurricane's kind of extreme, but after a hailstorm. I got a lot of experience working with Xactimate when I was in the restoration business doing hailstorms. So if you're paying out, if you build all your estimates on, you can build 2 tracks estimates. You have your estimate, what you pay the contractors, you're always going to make money because contractors can make money doing insurance work. They prefer not to. That's why there's a specific, brand of, type of contractor that does restoration work. But if you are a real estate investor and you're doing rehab, why not try to set it all up so you got insurance pricing for your baseline of your rehab, and then you have, if it's going to be like 80% of cost or 85 or 90, which sometimes what insurance estamates are, then you can know that you can make that 10 or 15%, 20% as contingency. You're still comfortable paying 100% because you're still going to have your profit and ROI and all that on your ARV, but you make a little bit more money if you can, maybe get it to price and get contractors to do the work at 85% or 90%. But it also gives you, pricing is standardized. You can show them its standardization. So you go into there, offer generator, your deal structuring, multiple offers, cash, creative finance, seller finance. It'll auto prep your letters of intent, feeds into your offer blaster. And you got offer blasters, distributions. So when it says sends, it can't, you guys probably know this by now, it can't actually send it from the program. You still have to download the PDFs, Word, and Excel, save it to your system and send it yourself, but it's doing 90% of the work for you. So just remember that when it says sends, it can't send. They're not going to change that. That's a security feature. Just so that, GPDs will just start sending out a bunch of stuff one day. So it'll sell out to the sellers, agents, post and marketplaces, triggers auto notification to your CRM and toolboxes, and it goes to letter matching.
So this is where you guys, a couple of people asked me today because they were new. I mean, they've been in the group for a while, but they just got onboarded. So your lender matching, make sure you're asking for the lender match tool. And if you're going higher, obviously you can go to Capital Connector. This will find the private hard money lenders aligned with the deal, and I'll rank it with fit score, velocity, geography, and check size, what they can write. Feeds back on a deal room and follow-up agent. So that's what you want to ask for is lender matching tool. That'll come up, the information will be on screen. As we bring in people that are already in our group and we bring in lenders and they embed, we can actually build them a tile. So it'll look like a visual. So you guys will pull up the tile. It'll show up in maybe your preferred person. The fit score could be like, it's from 0 to 100, obviously. Somebody's in the 90%. It'll say this is 97%. This deal will close with this lender. That's a good deal. If it comes up as a couple in the 90s, you've got a good opportunity. You can shop it. If you get one that's in the 90s and the rest of them in the 80s, maybe one in the 70s, then you kind of just decide which one you want to go with. Obviously, the one in the 90s. If nothing's in the 90%, then you've kind of maybe there's some tweaks in your deal that you can make. It's going to score it based on your deal and then based on the lender, and it's going to match you. It's going to give you the name of their firm, contacts there. It's going to give you a phone number, email, and website, and it may actually generate like a sample term sheet of what terms would match what's already in their website. It could be information they pull, and it could actually show what they would what they would do for a deal, for the numbers. Agents in action, recon agent verifies the owner and daisy chain filter. Follow-up agent nurtures seller lender leads post offer. Outreach agent connects with buyers from your buy box automatically. So here's the recap. So we scouted leads in Golden and Colorado. Here's the workflow. It'll go market scout, ARV and comps, rehab, offer, generator, offer, blaster, and lender matching. It's all AI powered. So it's a pretty good deal. No, it's 5,000 lenders in the next 7 days. So everything is like I said, I'm bringing these in. So when it says you're tapping your own, you guys aren't really tapping yours. I'm bringing in that list of several thousand that I got from AAPL, NPLA, and all that. So I was talking about that. We're going to bring in. We'll have over 5,000 agents. 5,000 lenders. So it kind of goes through this of what's going to happen. It's going to be but if you guys have lender contacts, you can also drop them in. So NPLA, I'll just have to remind you a little bit. Scotsman. Yeah. So here you guys go. NPLA, Premier Trade Association for Private Hard Money Lenders. So we got the directory. I basically have a subscription. I have API through the membership directory, which means I can put them into our system. So that's awesome. It's hundreds of private lenders. AAPL, American Association of Private Lenders, got the same thing. There's over 1,000 private lenders and service providers. So, and they both background check. There's also a third one that's out there as well. That NPLA is started by Leonard Rose and his son Matt has a competing company with them. NPLA used to be the Pitbull Conference. I went to that in October 2019 in Scottsdale. We were a sponsor. It was like 17 grand I spent on that with everything with the hotel. It's a 5-star resort in Scottsdale. They do 3 of those a year. NPLAconference.com. Scotsman's guide. This is telemarketers. Industry standard lender directory, residential, commercial, hard money. Database has thousands of verified lenders, searchable with geography, loan size, product, perfect lender locator agent, scraping and categorizing by fit score. These are all coming into the system. So in the next 7 to 10 days, The only thing right now is they're being categorized by someone I hired on Fiverr, a freelancer, using Airtable. So it'll connect with Airtable, so it'll be automated. And then, like I said, it's just having to then update it. And then, so you have the 901 now, the 1,762, and then all of these could be thousands of them. Potentially, we could have 5,000 or 6,000 in the lender matching and capital connection system. So it's scraping, categorizing by fit score. So its lender locator agent will scrape and export contact data from the directories. It'll cross-reference AAPL, NPLA for overlap. It'll actually dedupe, meaning it'll get rid of the duplicates. Filter and fit score, that's probably some of the time frame the next 7 to 10 days. Most of the time is actually about 25% of the time between the 7 and 10 days is them categorizing, which is pretty easy to do. The rest of it's deduplication, is making sure we don't have duplicates. So that way, you should be able to get 10 lenders for every deal, ideally. And so running through the buy box match engine, product type, geography, check and size, velocity, claim list, the lender's actually ready to fund the types of deals associates are working. And then you got outreach funnel. We already have vetted deals that match your lending box. No subscription, no daisy chains, just direct borrower connections. So it'll be sending out, my system will be actually going through and verifying their websites are still good. And then every, I don't know, so often they'll take a chunk of them, they'll do the same thing. It'll run through all the websites and make sure they're all still, because the website's still, there's no 404 or 504 codes on those. We know those companies are still, at least their websites are still open. There's an onboarding blitz. So, like I said, we will have 5,000 plus lenders the next 7 days, 10 at the most, because like I said, there's a couple of things that has to do, like dedupe and all that. Yes. And then let's see, let's prompts. Try to, it's actually pretty good. I don't know, you guys are using it by now. I know that it's pretty good if you get a typo. It still kind of knows what you're saying. I try to just correct it while I'm doing a video. So the agent deployment guide, obviously all the lenders are kind of agents, we just talked about lending. So fit score, like I said, there's going to be a fit score, geography, product flow, what the product is, the velocity, how often they can fund, and the check size, onboarding. So we're going to talk about prompt engineering. So here's the pivot. Don't just rely on agents. Show them you can write prompts, and I put a guide in there in the files tab in Facebook. But you guys can start even writing. I'm writing prompts now. I'm actually getting to the point. This actually looks like a couple of prompts right here. So you can use these prompts. You can save them, but you can also then engineer some of your own, particularly if you're working in a niche area. Somebody's doing, maybe they're doing commercial real estate and they're doing medical centers. You could actually then use these as an example to build your own prompts. That gives you an edge over even everybody in the group if you know how to. So you can build the prompts. I'm building a ton of them as well, making sure that you guys have access to all of the ones that I have. But there's a guide in there. Like I said, there's a process if you want to build some of your own. Well, if you just want to cut and paste, copy and paste the ones we have already. Market Scout. So it'll pull distressed leads in whatever zip code, including foreclosure, probate, pre-foreclosure, output address, owner name, filing type, filing date. Lender outreach, drafting. Drafts a professional but direct outreach message to a private lender that specializes in loan type and state. Frame it as we already have deals that match your box, no subscription, no daisy chains, direct borrowers only. Agent deployment guide. You got a deal follow-up, deal flow follow-up. Your custom buy box builder. Build a buy box for flipper, landlord, developer, and market. Include every range, property type, all that stuff. So it's a pretty good deal. Yes, we're going to do yes. Yes, generate a PDF. So it's pretty cool. If anybody has any questions on it, like I said, I'm trying to set it up where you guys just get a lot of information where you can just, you know, the ideal is use me and, you know, hit me up if you want me to build stuff for you. But if you just want to do it on your own too, you'll actually get that much ahead. You know, if you can go build you some of your own prompts. So I'll put this out. I'll do one visual. I don't like doing visuals on these Zooms anymore because it does take up time. And sometimes this visual gets stuck, which happens because sometimes they're overwhelmed. Friday morning is not a good time for OpenAI, just so you guys know. But for some reason, OpenAI has, maybe they're updating or something on Friday morning. Usually when I'm usually logging in about 8 o'clock my time. And it's usually slow for maybe the first hour, 2 hours, and then it picks up. So, and you can ask it, hey, is there any updates or anything happening at OpenAI? And it'll tell you, you know, if there's things, you know, something's going on. They're updating some filters. Sometimes they may have like 8 different PDF generators that they use, and you might hit a snag with 1 or 2 of them. It's the third one that they actually can generate your PDF. It happens a lot with visuals. It happens with they have different generators. So, and obviously, you know, 10 million, probably 15, 20 million people are using GPT-5, whether they're the Plus or the Pro or whatever accounts. So imagine that they're upgrading their data centers all the time. But just, you can ask it questions. Ironically, I asked it on Wednesday. I got GPT-5, the update came about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, Saturday morning. I asked it that Wednesday, 3 days before the 5 was coming out. It said that it wasn't coming out for a while. Then the next morning, I saw Sam Altman, the chairman of OpenAI, said it's coming out today. I was like, that's weird. I didn't know. Its own system didn't know when it was coming out. But yeah, I got it at like 5. I got it like 3 or 4 in the morning. Yeah, I know. So Brian, I'm checking the chat. So yeah, Brian, I just saw your thing about bigger pockets. Yeah, so you'll be able to actually see the lenders now. I've actually been getting lenders pulling up with the deals, the sample deals I've had. And all those deals that I posted in Lakewood and Evergreen that I posted the last 2 days, and the ones I did like 2 weeks ago in Littleton, are pretty phenomenal. Actually, let me check real quick. I'm gonna see if I can run this. And I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can try to run one more. I'm gonna go ahead and run 80127 again. And just to see, because I'd like to try to generate. Sometimes I take up the quotations, like, but let's see what it says about 80127, which is Littleton, Colorado, around King Carl and Deer Creek Mesa and Lockheed. So it doesn't have the API access, but you can pull it up. It actually will tell you where to go again. Jefferson County foreclosure search. So the Jefferson County. So like I said, it's an off ramp. You can go and click on this, and then you can look up 80127. It'll have the notice of election to demand, start a foreclosure, the weekly pre-sale and final sale. Believe it or not, a lot of these other services that are out there don't get it. Like, you can actually, once you're in these systems, because you can sign up for notices with some counties and some jurisdictions. So that's cool if you can get it. If you can get the notice of election demand, like the day they're filed, you get them before PropStream and Deal Machine will ever see them. So because they're a little bit on delay. Weekly pre-sale and final sale reports. They got Jefferson County Courts, Jeff Clerk and Recorder. So these are the some of the samples. You know, there's some filing streets. So it's got the probate court and the trustee. So, you know, clerk and recorder. There's different. Like I said, I did pull a lot of the information. Yes, 1, 2, and 3. I always just use the tools and tell it to run in that order. Like sometimes I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll like, hey, run 1, 1, 3, 1, 4, then run 2. Don't run 5. You know, I try to tell it what I want it to do. It'll do it in that order. It's smart. It'll think. I don't know. Most of you who are on now have been using it. You should start noticing how that it's becoming predictive. It should start really becoming predictive on you. So I'll post these in the group. Do you guys ever get a file not found? Just tell it that. Maybe, like I said, like I just said a few minutes ago, it may be because the generator, one of the generators is off. It fires in the first generator, maybe file not found, then it goes and regenerates it, then it's found. Sometimes I've seen it hit like 3 times. Yes. So I'll post those in the group tonight. And then if anybody wants to, you guys know, I know you guys said you guys have got a lot more people that you might be bringing in. I'm going to start putting the onboarding because, the Facebook group for the associates group is kind of convoluted. There's probably 200 things that I've downloaded. Just to make it clear, I'm not going to do that in the RCIC Facebook group. So if you guys are in there, then I will put it. There'll probably be less than 10 to 12 things that I file in files there. So I will have the onboarding plus I'll have the fix. Because you guys know I built this in 4, 5 wasn't out yet. So that's why some people were accidentally getting onto 4. That has been fixed. So there is a separate procedure if somebody is on 4. Nobody who's in GPT right now should be on 4 unless they keep it as a legacy model, then that would be on them because they are letting some people for the interim keep 4 because some people were like neurodivergent and some of the other issues that people had socially, or there's a whole bunch of reasons why people got upset about it. Like they felt it lost like some of the, the people that wanted more professional are happy at GPT-5, but a lot of people wanted to keep the 4 because of, their situations, it may be like more personal use. So OpenAI is going to allow 4 to stick around a little bit. So people that have a legacy, while they evaluate that, and they may actually put some of the features from 4 that they like into 5, which could throw off a little bit on the professionalism side. But I don't know, they've got to keep about 15 to 20 million people happy, and they're going off an evaluation. I don't know if anybody saw today that they had a post from Forbes that a lot of their employees are going to be able to start cashing in. They've been there for 2 years and they've had stock. They can start cashing in a combined about 10.8 billion will be with the employees before the valuation. The valuation is going to be about 500 billion. So Sam Altman's going to be worth about $100 billion by right after that. The CEO of OpenAI. So I'm going to post all these, like I said in the group. Yeah, so I'll put these goal strappers so you guys know that I posted them after tonight. Usually, if we go an hour, it will take about 30 minutes for the Zoom to process, and that includes me putting the YouTube together. Now, remember also, I don't put the YouTube video out on Facebook other than just in the associates group on Thursday nights. Is only for you guys and the 100 and something people in the group. So with rare occasions, I mean, I've probably done it 10 times, but generally I try to only put the ones out public that are Mondays and Wednesdays. And I'm not really trying to show a lot. I'm trying to show some impressive stuff to people that are outside because I think this is it's getting stronger the more people use it. Like I said, remember off ramps. And I have been surprised because I actually have had properties come right up. And I like the Evergreen and the Littleton, like go check this out. The Evergreen and the Lakewood ones that I ran this week. We'll go look at those PDFs tonight, or the first chance you get, go to Files tab and pull them up. You'll see the data did come up and they did pop up on the screen. But Jesse, you were on last night when you saw that. It actually pulled the stuff right up on the screen. I didn't have to on ramp or off ramp to Jefferson County. It actually pulled all the data up on the screen. I just didn't skip tracing. I got the names of the people, their addresses. It gave me where to go to, at the county clerk to off ramp so I could go get their name, their contact information. So that's pretty good. Anybody got anything they want to test out? You guys are on 4, so make sure I get the okay, let me see. Okay. Split it right up now, and I'll have it print a PDF and I'll put it in the group tonight. It's available. No, it's like they're gonna confirm it. You guys got plans. So I'll print out this. So if you're still seeing GPT 4.0, here's how to switch to 5. So make sure you're on it. You guys all have paid accounts. I know that. So in the model drop down, select GPT 5, not 4.0. It launches the RCIC prompt and filter files. I will have it. Yes, and a quick fix PDF guide. So I'll get that to you guys tonight. Just follow that. People have had 4. They've followed the quick fix and been able to get on 5. Like I said, this was built using 4 in 4. 5 wasn't out yet. This is already, I think we had probably already gotten a couple months. So that was probably some of the hang up. So like I said, if that's the case, we'll make sure everybody's on 5. I went through it a little fast because I was just going to print this off for everybody, so I can load this on the files tab and you guys can get it, or I can send it to you. I can even just send it to you directly after we're done. So to walk you through it. So I'll make sure that comes to you. That'll come to you first, right afterwards. I don't know if you said you guys have it. Brandon, are you still having issues with that? I know you said you were on it.
No, I'm all set now. I got it all switched over and I'm good to go.
Okay. Yeah, and you followed that quick fix that I sent you.
Yep, it worked perfect.
Okay. So yeah, so Rod, I'll send you the same one that I sent to Brandon because he had the same problem. So I know if anybody else has that, if you guys are seeing 4.0, remember it'll be up here. I can't.
Yeah, I'm still on 4. I thought I was on 5. I told Brandon I was on 5.
Yeah.
Maybe I was on 5, but now it's not. It says 4.
Yeah, 4.0, because I can pull up legacy like models. I could go to it, but no. I'll just send you that quick fix guide that I sent to Brandon then because it worked for him. You guys should, if you guys both made it, I'll make sure you guys have it tonight.
I was trying to follow along with you and do what you did, the prompts and everything that you put in yours, and it didn't work out. It didn't work out the same for me.
Yeah, I know. And that's why I said I'm kind of like wondering about that. It's the frustrating thing for me is having a double like activation. Like people have to come to me and then go to GPT and get their subscription, and unlike any other thing. And I'm just hoping that doesn't hold people back. It's like, because I'm telling people, you own it. Once you got everything I have, I give you the link and all that stuff. Like I said, I'm planning to keep building for the next like 5 years, 10 years, like I'm doing now. Keep building everything, making everything stronger for you guys. And then, hopefully, people, like I said, you own it. So you don't have to worry about it. As long as you keep your GPT account active, you're good. You'll never, unlike, all these other things you subscribe to, if you don't pay, you lose everything. You guys are good for life, so yeah, I'll just make sure you get that as soon as I'm off tonight. We'll be shutting down in about 10 minutes. So probably about I'd say about 45 minutes to maybe an hour tops. I'll be able to get that to you. I'll just send it to you on Messenger, and then if anybody else needs that, let me know too. I'll send you the activation that Brandon used, and then if that doesn't work, then I'll send you this one as well because it just generated this one. And Willie can tell you I know Willie's still on. Willie's still on. Sometimes he drops on off. Hey Willie, you tell about how that first week when it took us like 4 days to get you on. So guys, don't feel. Willie and I had to do some troubleshooting. He was kind of the guinea pig of getting everybody on because we had to figure it out. So, Willie's also put 50 deals in. Do you want to tell everybody about that? Are you on, Willie? I know you're on, but I don't hear you talking. I don't know. I'll get Willie to tell you guys what happened when he put 50 deals in. He did that in overnight deal engine, and it came back and brought results back to him. So you could put 50 to 100 deals in if you got them. like I said, I'm just not, like, if I'll do a video where I do it on my own, where I'll show you guys the off ramps, because then I can bounce around. I just don't like bouncing around with all this and having to go from Zoom to those websites and back to, there's like 5 different, sometimes I don't get all the way back. And it's like, I just want to make sure it's clean, that I don't, so I can, you just know that you guys have those little links that come up. Those are your off ramps. That's going to be like your counties. It's going to be, and it shows you all your sources. The best thing about GPT-5 and all that stuff, and even 4, but is that it shows you all the sources. So if you come down here and you do like a deep research, it'll actually give you and see, I had 39 of them last week. I've used a lot of deep research over the Labor Day weekend, building a lot of stuff for you guys. So use deep research. It's going to give you loads down of links. I think on one, and you want to be prepared to be there for a while. Some of the deep research projects I've done have been an hour, 2 hours. Like, and it won't let you do. I mean, you can sit there and go ETA and all that. You can't do anything unless you actually like close out and come back in and do a new project. When I do these projects like deep research, I'll ask it to do it in the background. Can you complete this project in the background so I can open a new chat? If you told that, you go to new project, new chat. My weakness is I still haven't used new project. I should be doing everything I'm doing down here in project rather than chat, but it doesn't. It still does the same thing. It's just more an organizational thing. The other thing I've heard is SOAR will be available probably in January to everyone that's in GPT-5. So I'm in a couple of chat GPT like user groups, just learning how to do all that stuff so I can get better at this. Let me see. Let me ask it. Oh. Let's see if it asks it. Like I said, so I'll get you guys the fix right after we're done. But I'm like I said, what I would like to do is now it's released to 5 pro subscribers. It allows plus users to generate short 720 clips up to 5 seconds and pro users extended watermark for your videos 20 seconds. So it doesn't have like audio and struggles with human movement and complex scenes. That's what they're fixing. So it's going to have it all for Sora 2 major upgrade. So it looks like Sora 2 will be the upgrade that has all the audio, which is why you really don't want to use Sora right now, because it's going to fix all that. So they don't know when it's going to come out. I try to ask it questions like that so I can put this out as well. Sora's live today, but it's short clips and no audio limit. So it's going to be pretty cool. Imagine if it could get up to 2 or 3 minutes and you could do like a quick listing video or something right from the start. So it's kind of cool. I'm trying to think of a couple other things we can go into. Oh, predictive. To become predictive. So like I said, that'd be the ideal thing next week, because everybody's just have let's make sure everybody's on board. I can run 5 and you guys can run your deals. And while I'm in here, then like I said, I can work on the big picture items. I can be building some things for you guys. So your active mode is really like days 1 to 3, a new associate resident onboards, systems listening and tagging, your buy box inputs, the activity, your market scout pulls, agents deployed, leads touched. At this point, RCIC responds reactively. You ask, it delivers. By days 4 to 7, so probably by your 7 session, 10 session, it's going to start becoming predictive. So if you keep pulling skip traces there, 1 through 7, 80439 market scout and recon agent will proactively push new distress filings in those zips. So if you guys are working certain markets, every time you come in, ask it to run market scout, like every day, even if every day ask it to run market scout and recon agent in those zip codes you guys are looking at. Because like I said, every day that it's going to run that, it's going to become more predictive. So that's what another key point that you want to do is you want to be, every time you come in, run market scout, run recon agent, in those zip codes. That's going to help it become predictive. It's going to help them. It's going to help you find properties in the areas you guys are looking to invest in. And then if you're using lender matching, the system begins auto ranking lenders that align with their behavior, not just their stated buy box. So lender matching, after you get the market scout going at recon agent, lender matching will it'll start elevating lenders in the databases and the directory to match what you do. So you may always have the same set of, it could be 40, 50 lenders, it could be 10, but you should always have the same set of lenders who they're lending exactly what you want. The whole idea is you guys, you should be able to get deals that nobody else has seen yet, get them analyzed and get them to lenders on a consistent basis. You'll never have a bad deal. Everything fits what you're looking for exactly. It's like perfect. I mean, it's as perfect as it can be. I don't think anything's going to be flawless, but it's awesome that way. It started really predictive. I mean, when I put in stuff for like, certain zip codes and stuff, it's becoming more predictive. I'm happy. Like today, it didn't come up with the addresses on screen, but the last 3 times I ran stuff in Jefferson County, 80127, 80439, 80401, 6 different Lakewood account zip codes. It came up with the properties right there on the screen. You guys can see all that. The data that's in those PDFs that I loaded in the files tab show that. It shows the information that I was able to get. And it went through all the steps. The only thing is I stopped it off for generator and blaster. I started to prepare offers. Keep in mind also, like I said earlier, it doesn't send automatically. You may sometimes want to just copy and paste over what it gives you in a PDF. That way you can kind of make it look a little bit different. It does a really good job of just giving the information, but you may want to if you like it a certain way. I'm kind of OCD a little bit about how things look on paper when I send it out. So I would sometimes maybe not send out the actual PDF, copy and paste, put on your letterhead, things like that. There's some ways to do it, but still it's going to save you 90% of the time of the money of the time you spend on things. So full predictive takes about 2 to 3 weeks, full predictive intelligence. After about 2 to 3 weeks of consistent use, the system has enough data to spot patterns and deal flow. Auto deploy agents when a match hits with annual request. If you're always looking in the same areas, eventually it's just going to start auto deploying agents. And it's cool once you have your agents set up, it'll just start sending them out to look for things. Surface new markets or asset classes they didn't ask for but fit their investing DNA. It may expand out. Like I'm looking in Golden and Evergreen Lakewood, it may go into Arvada, unincorporated Littleton. And if I'm looking in those areas, even some west side of Denver, that's kind of interesting how it does that. It'll actually start, maybe expanding a little bit if it doesn't find things that you're exactly looking for. It'll say the residents say the system is working for me, not just fits me. So how to frame this in session, it says when you're first on board, RCIC reacts, you tell it what to do. By the end of your first week, it starts to anticipate your moves. Within 2 to 3 weeks, it's predictive. It knows your buy box, your markets, and your lender matches before you even ask. That's when leverage turns into deal flow. Yes. So we're gonna wrap up in the next 5 minutes or so, unless you guys have any questions or anything. But like I said, I'll get that to you right away, Rod. As soon as I'm loaded up with the Zoom, I got it processed and ready to go. Then I'll get you that, and then I'll post the rest of these things that I'm posting these PDFs after that. That way, make sure you're going good on onboarding. And then, like I said, we've had it's going to be incredible once all these lenders are on board. That's going to be pretty cool. Having 5,000 plus lenders and lender matching. Nobody should. I'm pretty much at the point now where I feel comfortable telling people if you can't get a deal funded, it's basically on whoever, on that person, not on the system. The system's designed now. Nobody can see your deal flow. It's all safe and secure. We did set up messaging, so let's start testing messaging because we did set that up last week. Because I had some people join who wanted to use Go High Level and stuff. I wasn't really into I don't want people hooking up prop stream because we're trying to compete with them and beat them. But if you guys use Zoho or Go High Level, feel free to hook it up. You can ask it how to connect it. It's just like Dropbox and Airtable. But I do recommend at least connecting your personal Dropbox until you get to the point where you have to get the Pro. The Pro is only $11.99 a month, but it gives you 2 terabytes of memory. It's pretty cool. So we'll figure that out. And you. So I'll show you guys. I'll have to generate the YouTube assets. YT YouTube, so it knows YouTube. So here's the what you guys will see later. Probably within about an hour. You'll see this in the group. I'll use number 3. I wish you'd give me numbers. Sometimes I like just having numbers through instead of having to write stuff out. You guys also notice the good thing is it doesn't ever really get emotional. There's some times I thought I'd see it start smoking because I put something in like that I just requested like 5 minutes before. Well, it was on me for forgetting. And I'm like, hey, I'm surprised the system's not smoking yet. But you know, as much as I'm on it, because I'm still on this like 6 to 8 hours a day. And so then you guys got my schedule. So this weekend, tomorrow night, I'll be at a high school football game. I'll be up there after about 4 my time. I forget exactly what time the Colorado football plays on Saturday. And then I'll be watching the Broncos on Sunday. But I'll be working all weekend other than that on this. Sunday I'll be concentrating on home base. And then Saturday I'll be concentrating on real estate. So just know that's usually I put that in that 7-day schedule again. I gave you guys just to let you guys know. But yeah, if you guys got any ideas or anything you want me to build, I think that's what we'll start doing. I'll just take I'll take the sign up links off and we'll just start doing the 3 sessions a week. And if you guys want to come in and run deals on your system while I, run the bigger picture stuff that I can build stuff. I can build a lot of resources for Michigan, as a state and, try to help you guys with all your markets. Because if I do it enough while you guys are doing it, it's going to get faster. I'll do this for anybody too. And Jesse's in Massachusetts, Willie, for all your clients. If you guys want to run your deals, like I said, then I'll work on your bigger picture stuff. So it helps you guys get that much faster. Because I want to get dialed in before we get the influx. I think we're gonna have a lot of people. So cool. So I appreciate everybody's time tonight, an hour. Rod, I will get you that. Ron, I will get you that in about probably the next 30 minutes, 45 minutes. So you have that quick fix. Anybody else need anything? Brandon, you're good. James, you're good. Jesse. I know Jesse's always good.
I'm good.
Driving tonight?
No, today was a home day, but I already got my shirt off.
Oh, cool. You don't have to drive to Canada.
Yeah, tomorrow's Hartford.
Oh, okay. All right. So guys, I'll have this uploaded about a half an hour. I'll get that out to you, Rod, and then you guys get your fix. And then, like I said, next week we'll just start Mondays and Wednesdays. We'll open it up just for you guys if anybody wants to come on. If you guys just want to run your deals, let's run your deals. We'll start getting a lot of stuff in the flow. That'll help you guys. And don't forget, when you guys are in here doing deals, it helps everybody, even if they can't see your deals. So we got 177 people. I think right now we're a little over 30 people that are actually working in it. So that's a pretty good, and just remember, it also does get addictive. I did send the link to one of my friends to evaluate it because he wanted some outside opinion, and he was my fire chief from 1998 to 2002. So I've known him for a lot, like 25 years, and he's a tech guy, and he's written a couple books on Amazon, and he has a blog on AI and all that stuff. And he was like, said the same thing Willie did. It's addictive. I could sit here and spend all day. He was on home base for like 4 hours one day, just looking up stuff, restaurants, and trying to get restaurant reservations and all that stuff. So, I mean, you can do that. So I already have a guy on home base who's already found a Ford. He was looking for a Ford F-150s in Atlanta. So he paid the $25 because he didn't get when the special was. Later on, I was like, I wonder if I should give him give him a refund on the part that because I'm putting at $25 for the first month. Then basically that gives you 11. Then I give everybody 11 months free on an activation code. So it's like $25 a year. So it's a pretty good deal because I don't know at some point if we get so many people, what we'd price it at. keep in mind, you guys, once we get it rocking and rolling, we determine a threshold. You guys, everybody in the group will get divided up 33% of revenue. So hopefully we can get that, maybe by the first part of the year, we can determine what a threshold is. Like, I don't want to send everybody $5. But long story short, he went and looked, he put in RCIC what he was looking for, brand new Ford F-150 color, everything trim level, sent out to Atlanta, pulled up 22 trucks in the area. He was able to narrow it down to 3 dealers. He went in and he saved $3,400. He had the actual VIN number. He ended up getting the manifest from the train that took, because they transferred all the trucks and vehicles on trains. He got the manifest number for the train. He knew exactly what not even what the dealer tried to tell him that they paid for it. He knew exactly what they paid Ford for it. And he was able to go in and save $3,400. I ran my VIN number for my car, like Carfax, and it came back. And I had a bad experience with Carfax because it told me stuff. I bought a used car like in 2007. I needed, my truck after 16 years blew up finally after it's almost 400,000 miles. It literally, our system, the home base is better than Carfax. It's pretty cool. You can go in there and put stuff in there. And it covers all those areas that I was posting about last week. So if you guys have an issue trying to get on Carfax, let me know too, so I can try to get it on you. I can make sure you're on there, because test that out too. Go find a restaurant, go find stuff like that. I joke about some things like somebody could find a bounce house and a clown and a balloon animal guy for their grandson's birthday. Things like that. You can find stuff. I put also a resilience hub. I call it the resilience hub. Resources for veterans and first responders. There's even a tab on how to apply for a service academy, how to file a VA disability claim. There's processes in there for that. How to file an insurance claim, auto and home, how to file a FEMA claim, because obviously that's been in the news in the last year as all the fires and the hurricanes. So we put a resilience center together, a lot of resources, how to find and join your local volunteer fire department. Because all the volunteer fire departments, like Colorado right now, they estimate that we're like almost 1,500 volunteer firefighters short across the state. Like because it's harder and harder to spend time away from a career and family. And so we put that whole thing there to help people. And we're not opposed to that. But that thing was only supposed to be like 1,000 tools, whereas the real estate $699. I'm now at 5,000 tools just in that. There's a whole section of education. There's side hustles. There's all kinds of stuff in there. Healthcare. There's dental care, elder care, child care, pet care. A lot of resources. We got a travel section. We actually have a link where you can go to the CIA's World Book, and you can pull up all 195 countries and see which countries you definitely don't want to go to. It actually gives that information. It's pretty cool what it can do. There's even if you get stuck at Camp 2 on Mount Everest and break your leg and you need a medevac, there's like the 3 jet services that can actually go and, they can get a helicopter to Camp 2 now and pull somebody off. And there's travel insurance for that. I'm pretty sure it's pretty pricey, but those guys are paying what, $100,000 to go climb Mount Everest, and what's another couple $1,000 for insurance. So
I could use that in Saskatchewan in May.
Yeah, I know.
But
I was thinking about you when I said that. I was like looking right at you, going, "Well, James, but you
I had to
can
use the airplane.
yeah. So no, man. It's so because I put a lot of stuff in there, like the last like 1,000 tools, and I call it the fun and games department. You'll find concert tickets. It helped me find how to stream Colorado football last week when I watched the game, and how to stream or how to find, because they have how many streaming channels now. The NFL sucks now. It's like you got to go to Amazon and all this. It made me a guide for all that. I wasn't about to ask it to how to steal cable, but there's only a couple things that told me it really can't do. And nothing. It was like I was just testing it, trying to see how far people could get, because it has pharmacies in there, but we want people's gonna ask where the local pharmacy is. I don't want to get in, like if it's healthcare, it's obviously they can refer to doctors and stuff. I know they're talking about AI is getting in close enough where it's actually pretty close now to accuracy on medical diagnosis. And I'm kind of scared about that's a disclaimer you guys see at the bottom where it's not accurate. I don't know. And then I know that there's a court case next week where a lawyer is in trouble with a judge because they did their entire response using AI in a court case. And it's like, the judge is like, I can understand a private person doing that, but a lawyer using So I don't know what AI is going to get into some interesting stuff in the next couple of years when it starts getting better and better and more accurate. I know there's a lot of problems with it in the schools and stuff. So I don't know, it's kind of cool, but yeah. So I'll make sure I get that resource to you guys. If you guys need anything, you know where to find me. You guys got my schedule on that visual I gave you guys. So I'll get that to you guys get all that stuff out in the next hour. So cool. Appreciate it. So I'll talk to you guys later.